I've done a lot of uncomfortable shit lately, but never have I been so nervous for something. The level 2 hand-to-hand combat test is the highest level combat test in the Norwegian Armed Forces. A test that the coaches who want to coach new coaches have to pass. People train for years just to qualify to take this test. I originally said no to this because it sounded like a bad idea for an amateur like me to get in the ring and fight 5 guys at the same time. But after a lot of contemplating, I realized that some of my best videos have come from bad ideas. So in a couple of hours, I'm gonna fight 5 people at the same time, and we're gonna go through some of the basics that I need to know. It sounds extremely exhausting.
Yeah, you're gonna be really tired.
And you refuse to tell me how long I'm fighting them for, too.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to know. That's part of the drill, I guess,
yeah,
right?
It's part of the test. So the candidates you will be fighting should be some of the best in, in the whole Norwegian Armed Forces. So there are some from Special Forces, some from the Army, some from the Navy, Air Force, all over the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight 5 of them at the same time. No big deal. But we have to go through some basics. We have to go through kicking, hitting, disarming, some grappling too, maybe?
Yeah, so a lot of the grappling is just gonna be like defensive grappling,
right?
To avoid getting taken down.
Yeah, I feel like I need more practice before doing something like this. But I mean, now I have a private coach for a couple of hours, and then I'm just gonna be thrown in there with the lions as always. What do you call this guy? Does he have a name?
Yes, this is Bob.
Okay.
And Bob will be your training partner today. In hand-to-hand combat, you punch with the open hand.
Oh.
And you try to hit with this area. The main concern is that if I punch either your helmet or maybe your...
Right, you have hard, like if you
you hit hard stuff and then you break your knuckles and you won't be able to fight. There's a lot of similarities between martial arts, MMA, boxing, all that stuff, and hand-to-hand combat. But there's also quite a few differences. Right. Because it's about life and death, and you don't have any rules in hand-to-hand combat. Of course, the technique is important because you want to do things as efficiently as possible. We also evaluate aggressiveness, right, and how much forward drive you have.
Is aggressiveness good?
Yes, that's very good. Because if you're passive and you're always walking backwards, then you're losing the fight. Be aggressive, move forward.
I think I've never been aggressive on this channel, so it's the first time you're gonna see me aggressive.
Lift your heel and twist your hip into the punch, like this.
Okay.
We also have hooks. You cannot just open your palm like this.
So actually like slap.
It's almost like a really hard slap. Yeah. So straight punches look like this. And hooks. Like this.
Have you seen the Russians? They do like slapping competition.
Maybe I should try.
You should sign up. But then you also get slapped. Bob doesn't slap back.
That's the good thing, but also the problem with Bob. You just kind of move your hip a little bit forward and straighten out your arm. And that's not a power punch. That's just
that's just a jab.
Yeah, it's just to set up the power punch.
Right.
That's good.
It feels very. I feel like I need to be a little bit closer to. It feels dumb to hit something that doesn't hit back. And then when you go in for the.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, a couple of those to just confuse them, and then.
Yes, and then it's important that you don't drop your left hand. Try to not keep it in front of you, but have it just on your side here. Okay. So you can still see. There you go. Yeah, and make sure you don't overextend it.
And the other one was like slapping him.
Yes.
And then you do.
Yeah, just basically think you're just gonna. That's good.
Yeah.
Try not to start too far out.
Okay.
But just kind of out here. I'm here, and then I just move the hip into it.
Yeah.
Your power more that way, because now you're kind of going that way.
Okay. Try
not to raise your...
Okay. I just feel like in in a test like this, I'm gonna forget everything that I've learned. I think focusing on a few things, that's the key.
Absolutely.
Not too much at the same time.
Yeah. The thing about a test like this is that you're gonna be exposed if you're not drilled.
Right.
Because when you get really tired
Yeah.
and stressed, that's when you see how well you have drilled.
But I've only drilled for 2 hours, so how do I keep it together?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but
this is not in my system yet, you know.
Yeah.
And this time I'm actually gonna get my ass kicked if I don't perform. So a little bit more nervous now than I'm usually.
Yeah, and I'm actually a bit nervous for you because this is like we were talking about.
Right.
These guys are very well trained fighters. Of course, you're a tough guy, but you're gonna feel fear.
I'm gonna feel fear.
I think so, because there's just something about it when you're in the setting and you see the guy before you is fighting while you're kind of preparing.
Jab, jab,
Straight punches.
straight punches. What do I need to do differently?
No, that looks actually pretty good.
Good?
I think it's just details, you know.
Yeah. But the details, we can save those.
Yeah, I think we can save the details. But of course, if you get your hip a little bit more into the punches, you get more power. The kicking in hand-to-hand combat is usually low kicks. The same thing here. If I go higher, I'm gonna hit the magazines and injure my foot. Yeah. But a very effective kick is push kick or teep. As high on his torso as possible. That's a great weapon either to stop someone coming at you or to create distance.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in the clinch as well, and then you just kind of the way I like to think about it is that if he has his guards up now, I'm gonna take his arm down and put my elbow on his face.
And then like that. It's harder to hit with elbows. And then afterwards, do you do a combination or you just?
Usually there's, when I'm in the clinch, I do elbows, several of them, and then maybe some knees, and maybe I'll try to trip.
Take down the arm.
There you go. Then you can try a combination is where you step into this elbow to try to get his head back, and then down on the other one. And now you can try the push kick. So you stand in your usual stance. Try to get your knee as high as possible. If you can, go there. Usually when you have your own gear on, maybe you get to like the middle of his torso. So knee up, touch there, and get your hip and your weight forward.
Right.
Yeah. There you go. Approved.
I mean, it's good to be flexible. At least I'm pretty flexible.
The roundhouse kick is probably the most technical kick or the most technical striking move. Because there's so many details. Usual stance, try to get on your toes on the forward foot. And you lift the foot you're kicking with and try to kind of create momentum with your arm. Kick.
So I'm trying to like cut the air with this hand.
Yeah, correct.
Not lose the guard. I always like down the.
That's really good.
Not lose the balance.
Okay, I think that's enough for striking. I think we'll go on to the wrestling and the grappling.
And shouldn't that be like my advantage to get them down on the floor? Isn't that better? Because I will be like shorter than the Bobs, I guess. To get them down on the ground, wouldn't that be like an advantage for me?
Maybe if you fought them 1-to-1, there'll be an advantage. But in this test, it's
5 versus 1.
And also in hand-to-hand combat, we try to avoid being on the ground. Because once you're on the ground, then his teammate can injure you, you know?
Right.
So in the test as well, if you are on the ground, you have to expect that other people are going to get involved.
I thought it was just rotating, but they can actually all jump in.
Yeah, it's to prove the point,
Yeah.
kind of that you don't want to be on the ground.
Yeah.
So if you're first on the ground, then more people are going to get involved.
Okay.
In an MMA fight,
Yeah.
maybe you'd want to get the opponent on the ground. So that's a really important principle, to just be hard to take down. If they get close to you and start trying to grapple with you,
Yeah.
then you have to start creating distance. If you are taken down, getting up quick is important.
So far it's aggressiveness, that's important. Creating distance, not ending up on the floor. Those three things.
You have 3 things.
Those are the things that I'm going to focus on.
Yeah, and I have to correct your second one, because it's either create distance or you go in and engage. So later today, I would advise you to engage. The last thing I want to do is to be on my back and both shoulders in the ground. I have to start moving towards the person and try to either getting my knee in to create space. I want to start trying to get up on my elbow and then my arm. And I either want to be out here, keeping him away, or I'm here, protecting my head. Then I'm here, back, getting this knee down, my arms up, and I'm up again.
Okay. Go back like this, and then up.
Yes. When you're on your way up, try to get both your hands up quicker. Nice. But in hand-to-hand combat, you want to get your knee down first, and then you get up.
Okay.
And the reason is that you might have kit on and you're heavier. Are you feeling?
No, ever since it seemed like you were starting to worry a little bit for me, and then that's when I started worrying about me. Because when you worry about me, then I'm in trouble. I didn't think this was going to be scary at all when I came here today, but now I'm actually getting pretty nervous for this fight. I also didn't know that all of them were like such high level.
Now you do. These guys are gonna be instructors for the instructors. I think it's gonna be scary for you. You're gonna be scared before you enter here.
Yeah.
But I think once you start, I think you're gonna start having a little bit of fun. And then when you're done, you're gonna be really happy you did it.
Yeah, okay.
And it's gonna be a good memory.
Has anyone filmed this before? Or are we as in the channel, are we the first?
Yes.
Yeah, we're the first ever to film this.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I feel like we had some exclusive stuff here lately. Next thing, I have to learn how to disarm a man, right?
Yes, correct. We could do that.
Yeah. That might come handy later in life. I hope not. It looks really light when you see it, but it's actually the same weight as a weapon. It's really heavy.
At some point in the test, you might have someone with a rifle like this point at you, and then you have to disarm them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So disarm, it's not only trying to get away, not getting killed, it's also disarming.
Yeah, if you're running away from this one, that's not a good idea. Figured you could just try it on. So you see, that way you'll see how they have it.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find some weak spots.
Yeah, good. Should I do anything?
No, just so you see how it feels.
Yeah, but is it like if I get more aggressive, the bobs will also get more aggressive?
Depends on the bob.
They all have different personalities, you have to read the bob. Should I try some kicks on you?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so this, and then I mark the head. Is that, can I hit that? Yeah. How hard can I? Because I have to be kind of fast. Yeah. But I'm not allowed to hit like hard. And I'll fall foot.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think you're prepared, especially the push kick is really good.
Okay.
So you should use that a lot later.
Yeah.
If you want to get distance.
Yeah. I should try to pace myself though. I always say that in the videos, but this time I must remember to pace myself because otherwise I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Do you feel more confident now, or?
Yeah, I feel after just seeing you now.
Yeah.
I think I have a good feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, because I got really nervous. Like, that was no joke. Earlier, when we got in, we started practicing. He was like, Actually, he said it in Norwegian that you might actually be in trouble. Maybe this was not a good idea. And I was just like, holy shit. That's not what you should tell someone who's about to get in a fight. I have like 2 hours rest and then I'm gonna go into the fight, and this room is gonna be full of adrenaline and people who are really nervous, not only to fight, but also to see if they can pass their like test. Yeah, I don't know. This is probably one of the things that I'm most nervous about that I've done on this channel so far.
Spørsmål? Ja. Klar, ferdig, gå.
Oh. Summertime, summertime, love's in its prime. Summertime, summertime, everything's just fine. But autumn came, turned love into shame. I don't have any food in my stomach, otherwise I would have thrown up right now. No one's to blame. Who are you counting on? Who are you leaning on? When the cold winds blow strong, who are you counting on? I've never thrown up before because I'm like tired. Winter town, blood in the snow. Winter town.
What did you think about Magnus's performance?
He did surprisingly well.
Yeah.
And the other instructors were actually really impressed. And I think they said he didn't look that tired. They said his endurance was surprisingly good.
Yeah.
So I think he hides it well because obviously he's really tired.
Yeah.
But I don't think it shows as well. Yeah. But he did a really good job. I feel really bad right now. I didn't think he was gonna get this tired.
I feel like I'm so naive when it comes to these things. I always underestimate how hard it's gonna be. And this is the first time I like threw up. So maybe this is the hardest thing I've ever done. But if you enjoy seeing me suffer, please like this video. Maybe I'll do more videos with the army. Also subscribe if you're not already. Post notifications on. And I'll see you next time.